Hi, everyone, and good morning. Welcome to everyone present here in the sanctuary and those online. We welcome you to the Unitarian Universalist Congregation of Vero Beach, or as we call it here, UUFVB. My name is Hester Bloom. My pronouns are she and her. I have brown hair, and I'm wearing a brown shirt. There are many terrific ways to connect with other like-minded folks here at UUFVB, and it's my privilege to work with the Initiative for Reproductive Justice, or IRJ as we call it. That is just a part of the social justice work we do here at UUFVB. IRJ was formed in 2023 early after the overturn of Roe v. Wade. And since then, our efforts are focused in three broad categories: resources, which includes referrals and financial support to organizations that provide abortion care, contraceptive access, and other forms of pre- and post-abortion support; education for women's reproductive and lifespan sexual health; and representation in the legislative arena, helping with petition drives, voter registration, and get out the vote projects. Overall, we facilitate connections with organizations focused on securing reproductive health, justice, and education. We are advocates and activists for social acceptance of the individual's right to control their own body. Please join us in the fellowship hall for coffee hour after the service. And if you're a visitor, please take a red cup so we'll know who you are and can welcome you more personally. Now is a good time to silence your phones. And please take a look at your order of service to see what else is coming up at UUFVB. Lastly, there is an insert in your order of service regarding the needs of the immigrant community in Fellsmere. Starting next Sunday, October 5th, and running through the week till October 12th, we will collect items on that list: rice, dried beans, cooking oil, and Maseka flour. Needless to say, in these times, this is an urgent need. Please bring what you are able. You can drop these items off at the office. Thank you for your generosity.
It is our tradition to light a chalice at the beginning of our service and to say a few words that are meaningful to us as we begin our worship today. If you would join me, we say, welcome to your joy, your hope, your pride. We say, welcome to your grief, your fear, your anger, and the parts of you that are not yet ready to be seen and heard. Welcome to them all as well. Welcome to you who are gay, straight, bi, pan, lesbian, queer, questioning, unable to be contained in any word. Welcome to you who are trans, cis, gender queer, non-binary, intersex, gender, beyond words. Welcome to you who are human. Welcome to you who love and are loved. May this time together be a blessing.
Please join us for our opening hymn, number 95, There Is More Love Somewhere. Rise as you are willing and able.
In your order of service this morning, you have one of these. And we'll put one up there too. Okay. There it is. There it is. This is the prayer we're going to do this morning. We invite those who are young as well to join us before they go off to their classes. This is a prayer that was attributed to Pope Francis, but I don't know. It may have been something somebody thought of a long time ago. So here's how it goes. You take your hand and you put it next to your heart, above your heart. And then as we go through each of the different fingers, you'll see your thumb is friends and family, your next finger is teachers, coaches, healthcare workers, therapists, first responders. The big finger is leaders. I don't know. The pointer finger, I don't know, whatever you want to call it. The next one is those who are sick, vulnerable, and most in need. And the last one is yourself and your needs. And so what we're going to do is we're going to put our hand here, and as we say each of these prayers to ourselves, you're going to put your thumb when you start with friends and family, then you'll put your next finger for teachers, next finger for leaders, next finger for sick and vulnerable, and lastly, for yourself and others. So I'm going to lead you through this, and take it one step at a time. So put your hand here, if you would, next to your heart or your chest. You might take a deep, slow breath just to bring your attention to your hand, to your body, to center yourself. Each of us pray in a different way. As you do this prayer in your own mind, through your own heart, through your own spirit. Now place your thumb against your chest. Bring to mind your friends and family, your love for them, your concern for them, your hopes for them, your blessings for them. Place your next finger on your chest. Think of those who were your teachers, your coaches, your leaders, your ministers, your doctors. Bring them to mind. Either informally, who were leaders for you, or formally. And reflect on your love for them, your concern for them, your hopes for them, and offer your blessings to them. Now your next finger on your chest. And think of those who are in higher positions, policymakers, elected officials, world leaders. They are in need of our prayers. Send to them your love. Express your concerns, your hopes for them and for our world. And offer your blessings. Now put your next finger on your chest or over your heart, whatever works for you. And think about those who are the weakest among us, or those who are in need. Sick, the unhoused, those affected by war or climate change, those whose voices may not always be heard. And offer them your love. Express your concern, your hopes for them. And bless them. Bless them. And finally, your little finger, although that's not a reflection on why we chose this particular finger, it's just the last one. And so often we don't, in our prayers, think of ourselves. And it is important that we also think of ourselves in our prayers. Our love for ourselves, our concern for ourselves, our hopes for ourselves. And to bless ourselves. I offer you this simple prayer. You can do it anytime, anywhere, when you need to speak from your heart and embody your care and love for others and yourself. Amen. Now we're going to sing the children out to their respective classroom. And you're going to help me out? Good, because I couldn't do it. Okay.
As you journey, may you know, love and hope go with you, love and hope go with you, learn and grow, learn and grow.
So this is a time in our service where we normally do the greeting, and we will do the greeting in just a minute. But I heard that Reverend Scott Alexander used to do this earlier in the service because the children could be involved, and you could greet them too. So we're going to try that next week. Not this week. We already went through that. But what I'd like you to do now is to practice for next week. So I invite you to greet one another, offer a blessing. All right? Yeah, even the baby. That's right. Oh, there we go. This is the time in our service when we acknowledge that we come together here today with our own joys and sorrows, gifts and needs. Before me is water, the very sustenance of life. Water can buoy you up, nourish, cleanse, and replenish you. It is a source of life, which creates beauty in the very making of tears. This community, like water, is one of the sustenances that buoy us up as we gather together, that hold us together, especially when we remember the sacred obligation we have to buoy each other up in times of sadness, to nourish one another in times of want, to cleanse one another with acts of kindness and generosity, and to replenish one another when our hearts are weary and worn. Today, with this water, I remind us visually of our sacred obligation to one another. I add some salt for the tears that have fallen this week. May we remember that there are those of us in pain. So let us be tender with one another, for we know not what is held in the silent sanctuary of one another's hearts. And I add some flowers to remind us of the beauty and joy that surrounds us in our lives, that floats on the surface of many of our faces and enlivens our spirits. In a moment, I will ask those who find it meaningful to come forward and place a stone in our water. But before I do, if there are those of you who wish me to put a stone in for you, if you would raise your hand, and I will do so. Now those who find it meaningful may come forward. May all that we offer one another keep us connected and blessed within this hour and the week ahead. Amen.
This is the time in our service when we express our gratitude and commitment by sharing our financial resources. To contribute to the fellowship, please place your offering in an envelope found in the back of the pews, or donate to UUFVB by clicking on the QR code on your phone. Our offering today also serves another purpose, that of supporting an organization that addresses the needs of the underserved in our community. That is the purpose of our Sunday Fund, one of our congregation's major social justice outreach efforts. Today's Sunday Fund recipient is Treasure Coast Girls Coalition. I'd like to invite up Shayla Edwards to tell us more about this week's Sunday Fund recipient.
Good morning. Can you all hear me? Hi. Thanks so much for having me. My name is Shayla Edwards. I'm the visionary founder of Treasure Coast Girls Coalition. I started this grassroots mission about 4 years ago to educate, elevate, and empower girls between the ages of 9 and 18. I'm a Gifford native, which is one of the poorest towns in the state of Florida. I come before you today with a heart full of gratitude for your generosity for considering our organization for support. I also solicit your prayers for our girls and young women as they continue to navigate the complexities of society. 1 in every 5 girls contemplates feeling helpless, hopeless, or considering suicide. As an organization that serves women and girls, it is important to me to be able to address this data in our community to enlighten you all and educate you on the struggles that our girls face every day, from bullying to social media image, self-image, self-reflection, things like that. What looks really, really amazing on the outside of our sunflower logo are girls that really could use some guidance and help and mentorship from people like you. I brought some information about our programs, which I'll meet you all in the back after service so that you can learn more about us and how to get involved in our work. But I just wanted to take the opportunity again to say thank you and to express gratitude for allowing us to be able to present our programs today. Our programs include STEAM enrichment, digital literacy, and emotional intelligence support to, again, girls 9 to 18. Our program is located up in North County and Sebastian, but we serve the entire Indian River community. Thank you.
As we now receive the offering, let's do so generously and gratefully. Thank you.
Thank you. May this offering be a blessing.
Bodily autonomy is a fundamental right of a person to control their own body, life, and future without coercion or external influence. This concept encompasses the ability to make informed and consensual decisions about one's health, sexuality, reproduction, and even physical interactions. Bodily autonomy is a human right that supports self-confidence, healthy relationships, and the freedom to make choices regarding health care, including contraception, gender-affirming care, and reproductive options.
Here are 7 myths about bodily autonomy. Myth number 1, bodily autonomy is a Western concept.
Bodily autonomy is about the right to make decisions over one's own life and future. It is about being empowered to make informed choices. These are universal values.
Myth number 2, there is no right to bodily autonomy.
Not only is bodily autonomy a human right, but it is also the foundation upon which other human rights are built.
Number 3, bodily autonomy represents radical individualism. It undermines group decision-making.
Collective decision-making is common across cultures, societies, and governments. But group decisions cannot circumscribe the rights of individuals. In fact, the realization of individual bodily autonomy actually requires collective action.
Number 4, one person's bodily autonomy could end up undermining the autonomy of others.
Having bodily autonomy does not mean any person gets to undermine the health, rights, or autonomy of others. Individuals have the right to choose whether to have sex or get pregnant, for example, but they are not entitled to impose these choices on others. No one has the right to violate the rights, autonomy, or bodily integrity of anyone else.
Number 5, some groups of people are not entitled to bodily autonomy.
Rights are for everyone, full stop. That includes bodily autonomy.
Number 6, bodily autonomy undermines traditions and religions.
Bodily autonomy is not simply about sexual choices and reproduction. It is about a person's whole self, their dreams, and potential in life. Most traditions and religions create space for individuals to explore their own conscience on such deeply personal matters as to how to protect their health, whether to start a family, and how to chart their future.
And number 7, bodily autonomy is just another woman's issue.
Any concern affecting the welfare of half of humanity cannot be dismissed as a woman's issue. Bodily autonomy does not simply affect women. Every individual should be empowered to claim their bodily autonomy. This includes men, women, boys, and girls, people of diverse sexual orientations and different gender expressions. It includes people of all races, faiths, nationalities, and disability status.
The realization of bodily autonomy will fortify the welfare of all people.
So when I had to pick a song for this, it was a little challenging. But I found a song called The Great Backslide by a woman named Tret Fury. Great name, huh? I looked her up. She started back in the 80s, actually the 70s, as a guitarist, songwriter, and producer. And then she became really involved in the women's movement in the 80s. Anyway, I emailed her, and she said she would be happy for us to sing the song. She also has performed at some UU functions. That's why I thought I'd had a good shot at this one. So here we are with the Great Backslide with my women's ensemble. And Ian accompanying us.
It's my body, it's my life, it's my choice on my own time. It wasn't for you to ever decide, 'cause here we are now in the great backslide.
These are my hands, strong and fine. They've carried me through all these times, whether in prayer or holding the line.
They can't be tied to the great backslide. Don't presume you have an answer. In my world, you're not a dancer. You'll see things in black and white, mostly white, mostly white, so sure you're right. These are my hopes, these are my dreams, through all these times, they've carried me. Whether in solitude or side by side, we can't succumb to the great backslide. Don't presume you have an answer. In my world, you're not a dancer. You see things in black and white, mostly white, mostly white, so sure you're right. It's my body, it's my right, it's my choice on my own time. It wasn't for you to ever decide, but here we are now in the great backslide. Whether in solitude or side by side, we can't succumb to the great backslide.
Goodness, they are good this morning, aren't they? Thank you all. Well, I want to offer an image there. I'm hoping that it's not too disturbing. It is an image of an artistic display called Body Worlds. The artist is Gunther von Hagens, and he developed a technique for preserving biological tissue called plastination. Multiple religious groups, including some Catholic, Jewish, and Islamic groups, have objected to the Body Works exhibits. The primary concern for them focuses on the dignity of human remains. burial traditions, and the commercial and aesthetic display of cadavers. However, a progressive minister by the name of Professor Reverend Jason Baesi, he's Methodist minister, wrote, "There is some uncertainty about what to do with the dead. Should we anoint them, embalm them, bury them, preserve them, burn them, keep their ashes on a shelf?" Recently, people have been turning ashes into jewelry or freezing bodies for one day so that they can be cloned. Bodyworks, the anatomical exhibition of real human bodies, is partly educational, partly artistic, and partly a religious experience. I took my sons to see one of these exhibits. They were in their teens at the time. I saw crowds of people wandering around, gawking at these various displays. I have to tell you, it was unlike anything I've ever seen. I understood the educational aspect, but I also experienced and expressed some reverence around these deceased people. But something disturbed me. It was this artistic or theatrical aspect of these bodies, these skinned bodies. Seeing them playing poker or expressing gymnastic poses. And I began to think about it and wondering, for as long as they exist, a company could use them in any way they chose. They would never return to Mother Earth, never be part of the interdependent web. They would be plastic objects and treated as such. Living human beings, unfortunately, right now, are also, by certain governments, certain laws, by certain people, treated as objects, not unlike these body worlds' bodies. Sometimes living bodies are not treated with respect and reverence. Sometimes decisions made about living bodies are not based on what's best for the body, like the scientific evidence supporting COVID shots, but instead are based on capitalism or ideology or without concern or of body autonomy. Bodies of others have been and are controlled by certain laws, even certain people, according to those people or those entities' beliefs, ideas, needs. Anytime a person's body is being controlled or abused by someone or something else, or anytime a person is restricted from controlling what happens to their body, or is manipulated by someone to use their body in a way not of their choosing, they do not have bodily autonomy. Now, some people make choices about their bodily autonomy based on their own religious beliefs, personal decisions, not decisions for others. For instance, the Sikhs, the men in the Sikh community don't cut their hair. That's a choice they make of their own body. They do it as a symbol of devotion and dignity and equality. But I wonder, as I think about bodily autonomy, about prisoners. Do they have bodily autonomy? Clearly, ICE detainees don't. Is it okay for a prisoner to have bodily autonomy taken away because they committed a crime? These are the kinds of questions I've been thinking about. Reverend Heath Lambert from the First Baptist Church of Jacksonville, Florida, preached, "The body was given by God. It is not yours. No one who acknowledges the authority of God could ever claim bodily autonomy and would never seek to snuff out a precious life he made." Well, Reverend Lambert is speaking of anti-abortion, his anti-abortion position. This belief that a body belongs to God has vast implications. His preaching could impact decisions about health, reproduction, gender identity, comprehensive sex education, gender expression, discrimination due to skin color or disability. These could all be based on one particular person or religious sect or religious text controlling bodily autonomy. And to some extent, I think that's what's happening today in our country. Do you believe God owns your body? For Unitarian Universalists, I think I can safely say that's a definitive no. Religious traditions that believe God is love see things a little differently than some of the more conservative Christian and other religious groups. And I know many progressive religious leaders who affirm that love is not controlling, does not try to contain or confine. Love doesn't seek to own. And if God is love, God doesn't try to own your body or control it. Unitarian Universalist theology holds that individual bodies are sacred, but not in the way some other religious sects do. We believe that each person has a moral right to bodily autonomy. Bodily autonomy encompasses core values of Unitarian Universalism, including individual liberty, gender equality, and the freedom to choose how, when, and whether to form a family or raise children. Unitarian Universalists affirm our shared humanity. When we lean into our shared humanity, we're called to care for, defend, protect, affirm our very existence and our inherent worthiness. In a world that values all humanity, every body is cared for. Everybody has the ability to make decisions. They need to feel safe and whole in their being. Every body has access to the resources they need to thrive. And every body is held in truly liberating love. Reverend Aaron Walter, a Texas Unitarian Universalist Justice Minister and Executive Director, warns us against ceding the language of faith to extremists, saying Unitarian Universalists must reclaim our place as people of faith in the public square and for the sake of justice. And through this work, we can make other powerful, positive changes in our local communities. The fight for bodily autonomy will be generations long. So this grassroots organizing is how we will care for each other, build skills and power, and sustain our rights for the long haul. Recently, as I was preparing for this service, I watched some YouTubes about bodily autonomy. There was one put out by the Muslims for Progressive Values. They suggested, they proposed that bodily autonomy is the root of happiness. That really resonated with me. And then I saw one video by the United Nations Population Fund proposing that while bodily autonomy is not the single root of happiness, it's a significant contributor to our well-being. The ability to make choices about our own body free from coercion or external control fosters personal power, dignity, and self-determination, which is essential for health and happiness. When we experience some other person or entity taking control of our bodies, the experience can chip away at our perception of control of our bodies. So what do we do here and now with one another to affirm body autonomy? To affirm making our own decisions about our bodies and improving our perception of control over our bodies? Well, I want to offer some possibilities. First, as we are doing here today, as a community, as Unitarian Universalists, we are affirming the moral right for body autonomy. By being present, by hearing this from me in the pulpit and from each other as we go into coffee hour, that this grounds us in asserting this right. And also, we can work to support laws that affirm bodily autonomy, like laws that support reproductive choice and gender choice. Setting boundaries. Setting boundaries is another way to affirm our bodily autonomy. Boundaries about touch, about space, about our bodies. Whether we want to be hugged or touched or shake someone's hand, it's our choice. And that affirms our autonomy. And we can affirm our body autonomy in simple ways too, without anyone else. When we choose what we eat, when we choose how we exercise, when we care for our body, maybe putting, cream on our face. I don't, but some of you might. But that affirms our autonomy. It's our choice. One thing that I do is to treat my body with reverence and respect. I affirm that my body is part of creation, part of the universe, special, unique, and deserving of love. I say that to myself. I'm sure you have some ways to treat your body as if it deserves love. I'm going to close the sermon today with a meditation that affirms bodily strength and autonomy. It was written by Unitarian Universalist Reverend Catherine Buck Clarenbach. So I invite you now to move into a space of meditation, however that works for you. Take a few gentle, cleansing breaths. Let your breath slow, be comfortable for you, grounding you, centering you. I offer you this. Consider these words for yourself. My body is like a mountain, whose roots are deeper than any tree, than any plant in any place. Body is like a mountain. My body connects with all earth below, and whose sky-kissing heights reach down and roll through foothills down to the very edge of the sea. My body is like a mountain. My heart is like the sea, whose deepest depths remain untouched and unseen by humanity, and from whose birthing, dying, consuming, and rejecting all life has emerged. My heart is like the sea, full of tears, tears of understanding, tears of compassion, tears of grief, tears of joy. Tears. Tears in the boundless, boundless sea, who reach all the way to the horizon. Heart is like the sea. My mind is like the sky. Open, endless, and vast beyond any horizon of knowing or grasping or complete understanding. My mind is like the sky, across whose face runs thoughts and feelings, wisps of clouds that form and release themselves into nothingness. Body like a mountain. My heart is like the sea. My mind is like the sky that goes forever into boundless space. Feel the strength, the love, feel your body. Mountain, sea, sky. Out of the spirit of love we come as ourselves, we come with the wisdom and blessings of our body. So may it be. Amen.
Please join us in our closing hymn, Come and Go With Me, verses 1, 2, and 3. Rise as you are willing and able.
Come and go with me
Having received sanctuary for our heavy hearts, may we make shelter for those feeling alone. Having been renewed in spirit, may we remind others why hope is always worth the risk. Having returned to the truth of our interconnection, may we remember that injustice afflicted on any one is injustice afflicted on us all. Amen.